how do you plan to attract more corporations, similar to companies like the Motorola plant that we see that's in your district? How are you planning to bring more corporations to the district to help from with the economics of the district?
Economics of the district and attracting more corporations. Let me just say this to you. From our time in Tallahassee, we need to be focused on bringing in more corporations, but our tax structure, corporations are coming to Florida. They want to come into our community. We need to make sure that they're coming with jobs that our residents can have not just a reasonable pay. We need a livable wage for our people. We need to attract businesses, yeah, like Motorola, but businesses who are going to come here and provide real jobs, jobs that people can survive on. We passed a budget this year that allowed corporations to now receive the benefits of the taxes from our online sales. So quite frankly, businesses are coming. We need to be more concerned about the workers and the citizens of our community.
Thank you, Senator. All right, next up, we throw the same question to Commissioner Sharif. The floor is yours.
Thanks. So the first thing we have to do in Congress is we have to provide more funding for opportunities for education. Education has been a driver of bringing companies here by providing a workforce that can fill higher paying jobs for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The second thing that we need to do is we need to support infrastructure projects which bring higher paying jobs to our community. We have a lot of highways and water projects that can be funded through Congress and that would be supported by the Biden Build Back Better plan. We also have a need for healthcare in our community, and that means building healthcare facilities and bringing in healthcare companies that can support providing healthcare access in our Black and Brown communities, as well as education. And then overall, I would say that we need to provide some transportation interconnectivity, because we know that transportation interconnectivity breeds increase in economic development by providing corporations an opportunity to employ all age spectrums, both young and old. We know young folks aren't interested in owning vehicles right now. They want to get out of their cars and get onto a mobile transportation system. So how do you incentivize young people to work for these companies? And so that's something that I want to do in Congress. I can't see the timer, Ansel, so I think I cannot see it. You're not holding it on the screen.
All right, perfect.
I don't know if I'm out of time.
I was trying not to distract you much, but at least kind of give you the 401 about that. But great.
I cannot, when you pulled it up, I just got to move it over a little bit more.
No problem. It was like 1 second left, but great. All right. So, Mr. Morrell, same question posed to you, sir. Let me know if you need me to repeat the question. Are you on mute, Mr. Morrell? Hold on. Let me see. Bingo. There you go.
You don't need to repeat it. Thank you. My purpose for this district, my number one issue is reparations for slavery. This is one of the poorest districts in the country. It does not matter how many corporations you bring in, Black folks will be behind. And the corporations that have come in, they always go to other areas. If I'm gonna work with a corporation, I have to take them to the Glades. I have to direct them to the Glades. I have to direct them to Lauderhill and Pompano in Black areas. In Black areas, I have to direct them to Riviera Beach. Because what we have, we continue to have the same cycle. Corporations come in, Black folks get left out. So my goal is number one, reparations for slavery. Until that happens, America cannot be a great nation. Forget it. America is not a great nation because America has not paid 300 years of a debt. that it owes. That's the fact. So stop telling people we're going to fix this, we're going to fix that. We're not going to fix anything until Black folks get paid. Thank you, sir.
Thank you once again for the response. Okay, next up, we actually have Commissioner Holness. The floor is yours, sir.
Certainly, we're doing some of that now at the local level in terms of offering incentives. But what we must do if we do so is ensure that we're inclusive of the opportunities that are created for the local community. This is something that I've worked on diligently over time to ensure that small business, minority and women-owned businesses are at the table and participated. We must emphasize also growing our local businesses by giving them technical support and financial support and greater access to government contracts. That's something that I've worked on at the county level, where we moved from 10.25% to now 44% in participation from those businesses through our CBE and SBE program. That's essential that we look to grow locally, but also look to see opportunities that come and not necessarily be overwhelmingly in favor of just the large corporation coming in. Another thing that we must do is sell more of our goods and our services to the rest of the world. That's something that I've worked on through Florida's International Trade and Cultural Expo, and we've done a tremendous job winning a presidential award as a result of it. And this is something that we can join with our Muslim community who have roots in other countries where they can make the connections to have America sell more goods and our services. China is outgunning us in the international market in this regard, and they don't have the diversity and the contacts that we have where we can send a loyal, patriotic American to any country in the world who speaks the language, understand the culture, have connections there. We must do a better job on that. In fact, the Wall Street Journal did an article a few years ago that says Africa is the future and America is not ready because we're leading more with our military than we're leading with commerce.
Awesome. Thank you once again, Commissioner Holness. And next up, we have Rep. Hardy. Let me know if you need me to repeat the question. Otherwise, the floor is yours.
No, thank you. So look, I have to be honest. I don't think that it's productive to induce or incentivize corporations that are already doing work here in America to move from one part of the country to this part of country, or for one part of Florida to this part of Florida. These are all American jobs. These are all Florida's jobs, Florida's corporations, or so on. And so I just think it's throwing good money after bad to try to induce these corporations to move here. I think the broader thing is, how do we ensure that everyone has an opportunity to live with dignity, right? To earn a family sustaining wage, to have healthcare and so on. And I think that there's a broader agenda on that. Obviously, a $15 minimum wage is a start, but making sure, for example, that workers can band together and negotiate with their employers by passing the PRO Act. That's important. Getting rid of right to work by repealing Taft-Hartley. That's important. In addition to that, having a robust agenda to create jobs in the United States, which would include a Green New Deal, among other acts such as the Thrive Act. Those are the things that we need to do, because that is less about shifting economic production from one place to another place and more about ensuring that the marginalized masses can rise and thrive. And that's what my agenda will be if I am fortunate enough to be elected as the congressperson representing this district.
Awesome. Thank you, Rep. Hardy. Greatly appreciate that. Next up, we have Representative DeBose. The floor is yours, sir.
Thank you. I think when we talk about economic development and companies coming to or expanding in the state of Florida, or even just a new company that's starting up that, you know, may become a major corporation that we've seen, you know, in this country, it all starts with education, because, you know, companies are looking for the resource. And that's what we need to do. We need to invest more in our education system. The state of Florida decided to invest in our universities with preeminence, and that has helped the University of Florida, which is now ranked the number 6 as far as all public universities, and actually 25 of all universities. And then that also increases your research. And then again, that's where you start to get into innovation and starting new companies and things that are growing here in Florida. And that's something that we need to look at, because we have to diversify our workforce and where people want to go and get these higher paying jobs. And things like that will help us in the Glades when we think about the agricultural industry, which is growing beyond just being out in the fields. What's going on in other states is that they're partnering with these universities, they're expanding upon, and they're creating new higher paying jobs. So if in Congress, I would look at allowing more dollars towards education, which I think will help with the economic development. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you. And last but not least, Ms. Sheila, the floor is yours.
I believe that right now we should be focusing not just on moving in companies here, because we have a lot of companies who are coming in. But right now, the real focus has to be on strengthening the workforce through making sure that we have more continuing educational programs, more vocational training that match the jobs that are actually coming about, that match the jobs that are going to be necessary for us to actually capture the funding for the infrastructure that comes from the infrastructure bill. But we also have to be very, very wise and ensure that we can help our small businesses acquire federal contracting. This is our opportunity to actually build generational wealth. The type of funding we see coming down in hopes of stimulating our economy and ensuring that we don't have an economic collapse, it necessitates that we take this on seriously. By strengthening our small businesses, we'll see that those small businesses now will grow to be those larger businesses that build a legacy in our district, where we now are the owners, where we now are the large corporation that other states are asking us to go. And that's what we have to shift our attention to. As a business owner, I've experienced this myself, where we had to switch over and start doing vocational training, which we have Trinity Healthcare Vocational School, in which we taught those continuing education programs. We built up the community and gave them that training. And what we saw is that those people who started then, maybe 15, 20 years ago, now they've matriculated where they have their own businesses, and we have a legacy for everyone. So that's where we have to be moving to as a community, which is strengthening the job market, strengthening small businesses. Thank you so much.